say, well, we'd like to be painters, we'd like to be poets, we'd like to be writers, but as everybody knows, you can't earn any money that way. Another person says, well, I'd like to live an out-of-doors life and ride horses. I said, you want to teach in the riding school? Let's go through with it. What do you want to do? When we finally got down to something which the individual says he really wants to do, I will say to him, you do that. And forget the money. Because if you say that getting the money is the most important thing, you will spend your life completely wasting your time. You'll be doing things you don't like doing in order to go on living, that is, to go on doing things you don't like doing, which is stupid.
Watching you, use them, walk up to them, ask them questions, all right? They want to hear you ask them questions.
Go lefty on the righty, it's much more harder for a defender to guard you when you attack his top hand.
Step to our target, right in the middle of the net. We want to shoot. We're not even for corners right now. Big step, right in the middle of the net. Just make sure you get to the ball as quickly as you can. All right?
Hands back, extended, be able to catch it, and as soon as you catch it, be able to pull it. Nice overhand release.
Try going a little bit lower. So you're left and right. So you're going to throw the ball. You can do it with your hand too. So want me to throw it? So you're going to throw it. Get your stick up just like this. Bring it and bring it in like that, okay?
Pick it up. Bring it across your body like you're stealing a defender off and cradle down here, okay?
Getting a good shot, but let's try to throw in a fake and go high or low, okay? Sound good? Ready? Tweak. Woo! I always think it's so funny when...
Catch it.
I'm starving. All I've had today is McDonald's breakfast.
Welcome back to Westchester, Pennsylvania, Farrell Stadium on the campus of Westchester University. Dan Fritz alongside Rachel DeCecco once again. Game 2 of the semifinals. The New York Fight taking on the #1 seed Baltimore Brave in a rematch of a game that took place in Maryland on the 23rd of June. The game that we saw lit up the stat sheet to the likes that I have never seen. Well over 100 shots on goal. Both goalkeepers, better part of 20 saves apiece. And in a game that we saw excitement and drama in the first game, Rachel, undoubtedly we're going to see more of that in the second. And especially now when you look at it, Baltimore coming in 4-0, undefeated, running the regular season table. But the New York Fight definitely catching fire as of late. Their last time out, they took care of business to get into the postseason on the heels of Taylor Cummings unloading 7 goals.
Yeah, I mean, Taylor's peaking at just the right time. New York's firing on all cylinders. We'll see what happens today.
Taking a look now at some of the starting lineups as the players are being introduced. First for the Baltimore Brave, Alyssa Leonard, Marie McCool, Amanda Johansson, Kaiten Montalbano, Brooke Griffin, Kylie McQuilkin, Dana Dobby, Tiana Walford, Kelsey Sheridan, all in front of Kelsey Donnelly, the same goalies we saw from the last time. It's the Baltimore Brave being introduced on your screen. On the other side for the New York Fight, Kelsey Gregerson once again is going to be between the pipes for the Fight. She'll have Alice Mercer, Caroline Fitzgerald, Casey Pepperman, Zoe Stuckenberg, Kylie Oldmiller, Marissa Romeo, Taylor Cummings, Shayna Brady, and Sarah Brown, the starting lineup for head coach Shannon Smith. On the other side, head coach Sonia LaMonica definitely has a nice problem to have, undefeated coming into the playoffs, but all of that aside, win, you advance to Saturday, lose, your season ends, and just the vibe from talking with some of the players in between the games, everybody has consistently said that this game is going to be one for the record books. The scorekeeper is going to be busy, and the public address announcer is going to be very busy.
Yeah, I don't think we can let these records really fool us. I think this game's going to be much closer than a 1-4 seed game. New York, as we said, is firing on all cylinders, playing the best game they have all season. So I think they're going to put up a fight here against the Brave. No pun intended.
No pun intended. That's a word we're going to trip over that all night long, as we've had all year long. But still, there's no other way to describe that. And especially, again, the last time out, and part of it, the players coming out onto the field, as we said, Taylor Cummings, though, those 7 goals. Kylie Oldmiller, that phenomenal behind-the-head goal that made SportsCenter with a little persuasion from a little social media pressure, maybe a few phone calls, but nonetheless still well-deserved. And even I had a chance to talk to Gussie Johns being here and just briefly asked her, and she just laughed it off as a good goalkeeper would. There's nothing going to do with it. Congratulations, great shot. And
you can't feel bad about that as a goal. You got to give credit where credit is due, and just an incredible goal by Kylie. And I think we're going to see more of that tonight. Obviously, 7 goals from Taylor Cummings last weekend was just unbelievable. I mean, that's why she's a 3-time Torrington winner, I think 2-time national champion. So she really sort of shown why she's the best in the game, and the combo of her and Oldmiller is just going to be, as they go on, more interesting to watch. You got to love this matchup between McCool and Cummings as well. Rivals in college, teammates on Team USA, now they're rivals again. So I think we're going to have a battle here on that center draw.
And even Haley Griggs was even saying she was looking forward to this matchup most of all of the 4 teams in the semifinals, and all for the reasons, as you just said, the offense and the defense, and not to take away from the phenomenal work that both goalkeepers did the last time. And the one thing that you won't see on the stat sheet that these goalkeepers did in that regular season game was how they alone helped spread the field. They were a key part of the transition game as the saves were made, quickly getting the ball to the field. And as we joked about, but all seriousness, at the end of that game, every player on that field was gassed. So we'll see what we get when once we get going here, and how this game's going to play out. Again, winner advances to the final. The New England Command waiting in the wings as we tending to a little something with the net off to our right. But as you see, the New York Fight in the blue and white, they're going to be going from left to right on your screen. The Baltimore Brave in the white over red. They will be going from right to left, and little error on the draw control, so it'll be Baltimore's ball, and here comes Marie McCool to get things started. And that fast, Baltimore is on the board. Marie McCool dishes off to Brooke Griffin, and it's 1-0.
And this is what we've been seeing all season from Baltimore Brave, just a high-powered attack that can score in 20 seconds. Brooke Griffin, a newly hired assistant coach at Duke University. So, obviously she's having a great summer, and she just scores right off the bat there.
So that fast, and as we said, public address announcer Mr. Rich Kahn, right back to work. 15 seconds in, and that's got to be a record. I know we're within the first year, but 1 goal, 15 seconds is definitely going to be how this game's going to play out. Off the next draw control, Baltimore once again. Marie McCool comes over to the line. And they once again work their way up the field. Amanda Johansson. Johansson puts one in. Gregerson answers with the save, but the pressure from Baltimore right there. And Gregerson taking off up the left wing.
Wow, that's a pretty aggressive move by Gregerson. She's got to hustle back now.
New York up the left side. And now they'll get on to the attack. Waiting for substitutions to come in from the bench. Kylie Ohlmiller from behind the net. Ohlmiller cuts right, now back and forth around the circle. Trying to make that turn, she fires, and Kylie Ohlmiller has tied things up at 1. So as we said at the top of the show, Kylie Ohlmiller, this New York Fight offense, firing off of all cylinders, and Ohlmiller gets things going already. Taking a look at it. Ohlmiller just taking it into her own, making a turn. The minute she's got open space, she lets fly, and she finds the back of the net.
She's so dangerous coming around the crease there. You saw it hundreds of times at Stony Brook, and you've seen it here already in the WPLL. When she comes around that crease, she's really tough to stop.
Off the draw control once again, Taylor Cummings goes off to the right. Baltimore comes away with it, trying to get a little creative with a pass behind the back, but right to the stick of Taylor Cummings. And she'll give the Zoe Stukenberg and wait for the offensive unit to come in off the bench, and the fight once again back to work. A couple of minutes gone here in the first quarter. Kylie Ohlmiller from the right side. Ohlmiller goes back, trying to cross the field. McPartlin gives Stukenberg. Stukenberg, McPartlin fires and scores. Kelly McPartlin makes this 2-0. More than likely the assist coming from Zoe Stukenberg.
Yeah, and a little curious there for the Baltimore D. She was pretty wide open there, right around the 6 meter. So maybe a little miscommunication, a little double team is what happened there. They just weren't able to adjust quickly enough.
So that fast, 3 goals into the book. McPartlin gets the credit for the Zoe Stukenberg gets credit for the assist. And it's 2-1 in favor of the fight. So the next draw control, again, back and forth action. 2 quick goals for the fight. But this time Amanda Johansson pulls down the draw control. The Brave working up the right side. Quick passing to the left. Unable to connect, but off the wing. Up top now once again. Montalbano sends it back behind the net. Griffin will take it back. Trying to look just to dump it off right in front, get a quick one-timer in. Gregerson peeks around the corner, trying to disrupt it. The defense gets the ball to the ground, and Shayna Brady.
It's a nice check there on Dana Dobby there by Taylor Cummings. Just really pickpocketing her, getting that out of her stick. Dana's got excellent stick work, so being able to check it on her is pretty tough.
Now the fight working off the left wing, Marissa Romeo. Brave challenging one-on-one. Taylor Cummings. Cummings through traffic. Cummings goes in just off the mark. Marissa Romeo is back, and she'll get us back to live action. 22 on the shot clock as Romeo surveys the field, goes to her right, fakes to go in front. Romeo fires and just goes wide right. It'll still be fight ball. Kylie Ohlmiller will bring it back in. 11 on the shot clock. Ohlmiller looks, cuts left. She's going to make the turn. Ohlmiller fires, and it got deflected, bounced just off to the left. Loose ball. Zoe Stukenberg trying to get position, but the ball to the ground, and coming away with it is the Brave defense. Kelly McQuilkin able to pick it up, the product of Townsend. And the Brave up through midfield. Amanda Johansson. Alyssa Leonard now trying to do a quick transition in front. Couldn't get the turn. Johansson with the ball once again. McCool. Off the spin. Sarah Brown right there with her. Marie McCool racing around the back of the net. She'll take another bump from Sarah Brown.
Well, this is
coming inside, and Gregerson will get the save. McCool gets sent to the ground for her efforts.
Yeah, but pretty tough D there on McCoy. You know, in the college game, I think we would have had a few calls there, but they're really letting these girls play and see what these attackers can do with this tough D.
Brooke Griffin, though, around the circle, passes out. Alyssa Leonard fires, and she'll score, tying things back up at 2. Alyssa Leonard unloads from the right side. She gets the back of the net. Taking a look at it again. The great work around the around the crease, the unassisted goal as the announcement comes in. Just rifles right in. So 2-2 is the score as Alyssa Leonard, graduate from Northwestern, gets her first notch to the board on the afternoon. 8 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. The Baltimore Brave bench. You look at the games, the line from the last time. Baltimore put up 5 in the first quarter to New York's 2. Baltimore coming away with the draw control. Marie McCool.
Really showing why she was the midfielder of the year this year. She really is just so versatile and strong in the midfield. Really makes a difference in transition.
The whistle had blown before the shot, but it will still be a free position opportunity. Brooke Griffin will be right up the middle. Gregerson sets, goes in, fires, and misses the target. So, I mean, Brooke Griffin unloaded a rocket. The Braves still have it. 35 on the shot clock, working around the crease. Now in front through traffic. That gets a save from Gregerson.
It's a great save from Kelsey Gregerson there. Really, they're playing a little sneak attack, sending Dana around, popping that in the middle. She saw that the whole way in. Did a great job saving that shot.
New York fight, working up the right side. Shayna Brady comes across the line. She'll pass off Taylor Cummings to Zoe Stukenberg on the right. And a setup that we've seen a lot of times this year. Kylie Ohlmiller in the corner. Cummings up the middle. The pass back off to McPartland. McPartland back pedals, now goes up to the left side. 23 on the clock. She goes to the left.
We saw this last week from the New York fight too. Really a spread offense. You've got a couple sets they're running here. Looks like a sort of a 2-3-1, exchanging people in the middle, setting some picks. It was very effective at spreading out. Really served Taylor Cummings last week. Looks like she gets the foul call here on a drive, so have an 8-meter.
So Taylor Cummings will go to the center hash. 5:50 left to go here in the first. Score tied at 2. Cummings sets, she charges, she goes in, goes low, and once again the fight are on top, 3-2.
Yeah, I mean 5 goals in the first 10 minutes of this game, Dan. You predicted a high score. I think this is definitely coming true here. Just so much offensive power between these two teams.
Take a look at it. Taylor Cummings doesn't project anything. She gets in, drifts off to the left, still keeping the stick right hand, sends it back, bounces it off the turf, getting the free position goal, but more importantly, giving the fight the 3-2 lead. 5 minutes and change left to go here in the first. Definitely back and forth action, as we said. What better way than to have, as far as for these semifinals, than to have a rematch of probably, undoubtedly, 2 of the best games we had during the regular season here in year 1, and especially, as we said before, the game between these two, as the fight come away with it. Zoe Stukenberg with the ball.
That nice ride here by Brave. Dana Dobby really putting pressure on all the way up to that 50, making Zoe work for that transition.
So now the pass off Lindsay Scott.
Another thing we saw New York do last week is really a lot of subbing on transition. So they've got 2 women in the box, and they're subbing in and out, counting off 1 and 2. Very similar to what you'd see in the men's game, but here you see it now in the transition, really sort of more specialized players.
Baltimore, though, picking it off, working up the right side, quickly goes up, and that skims off the turf, and that one goes flying over the netting. Baltimore still has it. Only 20 seconds gone off the shot clock. Now working up top. Amanda Johansson Johansson, that shot goes in and bounces up. Baltimore still has it. Fresh shot clock. Baltimore off to the right side. Shot Gregerson once again to save. The rebound for the Fights defense. Here comes Zoe Stukenberg through midfield. Long pass to the right side. It's got Ohlmiller. Ohlmiller. Cummings. Cummings through traffic. She tries for the near side. Didn't go. Marissa Romeo has it back behind the net. Fresh shot clock. As Baltimore picks it off. And now trying to clear through midfield.
Marissa Romeo took her eligibility and actually played basketball at Syracuse this year, so a very versatile athlete.
And that's one thing, I mean, especially in the college world and especially within the Ivy League as well, it's very rare you saw a two-sport athlete within the same year, but credit to her taking that extra year of eligibility. And even when I found that, looking it up, it's like, wait a minute, no, I got to double check.
You read it right.
Read it right and even double checked it. So a year of basketball. And you often wonder, especially like in the draw control, how much the two sports have the similarities.
Oh, absolutely. So many similarities.
And especially when you have, and not like now, a loose ball here. Kelly McParland does well to cause the turnover. And now she'll bring it up the right wing, cutting back through midfield. So both teams' defensive units have just been outstanding so far. But give credit for the offensive as well as they're getting the goals in. 3-2 to score, 2 minutes left as Kylie Ohlmiller passes off Lindsey Scott. Scott back behind the net. She loses it. Kayla O'Connor collects it. And as I say, the defense doing its job. Baltimore once again has the ball back. 1:39 left. Up the right wing. Uncontested, picking up the loose ball. Baltimore still advancing up the right side. Montalbano. Alyssa Leonard. Kristen Gaudian.
Good pressure there by the New York Fight.
Meg Markham right there. Off to the left side now. Gaudian once again. Meg Markham slides in. Loose ball goes in, back out. The Braves send it back home. Brooke Griffin once again hits the back of the net, her second of the afternoon. We're tied at 3.
Some great patience there by the Baltimore Brave, waiting for the opportunity. Brooke Griffin's so far having a great game in this first quarter.
Scored by number 11, Brooke Griffin.
Loose ball. And actually, it hit off of her.
Her foot, yeah, a little lucky bounce there for the Brave.
And she's able to send it back for her second goal of the afternoon. So 3-3. And again, the running clock. Once we get the draw control off, may have time for one quick shot on goal. Off the draw control, right to the stick of Taylor Cummings. Taylor Cummings with 5. Stukenberg. Stukenberg inside the line and fires and scores right before the break.
Buzzer beater, Zoe Stukenberg giving New York the lead going into the second quarter.
Zoe Stukenberg turns in a goal and it is Kristen Gaudian. Loose ball, 20 on the shot clock. Braves still have it. Leonard looking right, but not much there. She'll go left. Through traffic, Amanda Johansson runs into all kinds of trouble, but she'll go to the line after the foul. So an opportunity for the Baltimore Brave to get to within 1 off of the free position.
Yeah, and a little, I think she got a little lucky with that call there. I think that was good D by the Fight. They had 3 on her, so maybe they thought it was a foul, but they really collapsed well. Now we got a fast break here coming down the other end.
Up the field comes the New York Fight. Taylor Cummings, quick pass. Marissa Romeo, she backpedals and tried a one-timer. Zoe Stukenberg just couldn't get it home. But the New York Fight still keeping it. Kylie Ohlmiller, 40 on the clock. She cuts left and right, now working around. Back to Cummings. Cummings through traffic goes in, but a great save.
Wow.
Kelsey Donnelly right there.
Big stop.
That's huge for Kelsey Donnelly. I mean, Taylor was right on top of her. She managed to sort of stay strong in there. You hold still when she's making those fakes. You know what's the strategy? You can't go with her. You're just really.
Kelsey does a great job about holding her position and waiting for the shot. It's you gotta time it right, and she timed it perfectly on that last shot.
And also as well, the patience and composure, something we pointed out during your game on the air, is how both goalkeepers, and including yourself, just you don't want to commit early to give the shooter an opportunity or another option. As you see, great defensive work here.
There she goes.
And once again, here comes Kelsey Gregerson.
That's a goalie. Have you ever? What's the farthest you've ever gone down the field?
Ask her this.
I'm going to say at least 5 yards is my max. Kelsey's showing off today for sure.
I mean, could we see a goalie goal? I mean, it's.
My money's on
I'm waiting
Gregerson.
for it. Definitely, my money is definitely on Gregerson for that full field run and a rip right top shelf. She's unbelievable.
It's the second time she's gotten to the 50 here on these clears, so she's itching, I think, to get down there.
She's waiting for it.
Marissa Romeo now with the ball. Zoe Stukenberg left side. She goes in front. Oh, no, behind the back. She tried it again. Almost had it.
She's
As
so
everybody
fun
in this
to
press
watch.
box just went back in their chairs.
She is so incredible to watch, and it's even playing against her, it's been so much fun. I was talking to her during the game saying, you got to stop doing those behind the backs. You're killing me. She's unbelievable and so good, and is just making the sport so entertaining to watch for everyone.
Would you have been in, wanted to be in Gussie Johns' spot?
Oh, God, no. Gussie handled it very well.
She did. I said, joking around with her in between games, just her body language.
Yes.
Like, how did you get in there?
Oh, man. The behind the backs and how sneaky Kylie O'Miller is on. It's on.
Take a look at it again. She goes left, and I mean, she barely looked and did not miss the mark by much.
You never know when it's coming out of her stick. She's unbelievable.
New York fight with the ball up by 2.
Nice, Shanna.
Goes in. Great save there, Kelsey Donnelly.
Big stop.
Once again, the goalkeepers living up to expectations and then some. Big stops in the early goings in this one. Score remains 5-3 in favor of the New York fight. Baltimore with it. Amanda Johansson waiting for substitutes off the bench before they get back to work. With 30 to shoot, Johansson now works right side. Johansson goes across body and finds the upper left-hand corner, squeaking it by Kelsey Gregerson to pull within 1.
Just a great shot, top shelf there by Amanda Johansson.
Johansson through all kinds of traffic, and Gregerson is definitely going to see that one later on tonight in her sleep, wanting that one back. But nonetheless, the Brave get to within 1. 5-4 is the score as we push just about 8 minutes left to go here in this first half. The Baltimore bench. The New York fight as well. And like I said, both teams, you know they're just going to go all out just because of the nature of the chemistry of their teams alone. And then we'll start talking about the talent of these players as well. But nonetheless, exciting action. The winner to advance to the final on Saturday. New York sitting on the 1-goal lead. The rip to the left. Trying to reach for it, can't get it. The Johansson tries for it, it pops up, but it comes down and right into the stick of Alyssa Leonard. Now Baltimore come up through midfield. With some speed and some space off to the right, but curling off.
Great defense by Alice Mercer right there.
Sheridan couldn't find the lane she likes, she curls off. Johansson now with the ball. Amanda Johansson looking.
That great poke check there by Zoe Stukenberg, really just popping that right out of her stick. Made that look easy.
Baltimore gaping it, but now a foul's going to be called.
That's a great collapse there by the D. I think
Shayna Brady pleading her case, but the referee's not having any of it. So an opportunity for Kristen Gaudian to tie things up from the free position. Here with about 6:45 left to go on the whistle. She goes in, she bounces one off the pipe and over.
Goalie's best friend there on that pipe. There was a
love a pipe save. Love a pipe save.
New York working off the near side. Alice Mercer through traffic, now through midfield, working her way all the way to the 30.
I get nervous when Alice passes the 50.
Looks like she's a little nervous
wants it. She wants it every time.
Let's see if I get an answer to this one. Is there anybody in this league that when you see coming at you and they've got 5 or 10 yards in front of you, that the first thing in the back of your head is, uh-oh?
Dana Dobie, without a doubt.
Okay.
That's a
Without
great
a
call.
doubt. She will score every time. If you give her space and room, she'll rip it right on you.
So I'm sure you're used to getting shot at her plenty of times in practice. No better practice than that.
4 years of it, and I still can't stop it.
McPartland charges in, but then checks up, backpedaling all the way out to about 25. Stukenberg. One-on-one, she goes left, passing out front, looking, bouncing, getting the ball to the back of the net. Once again, Lindsay Scott scores for the fight. What a goal, what a pass, nice setup. Take a look at this again. Stukenberg lobs it.
A little 5-hole there, got her, that was a great feed.
Beautiful handle.
Absolutely.
Great work all the way through. And the fight are on top 6-4.
It continues to amaze me the level of parity we have in this league. These games are all so close and so hard fought. It's just, there's so much talent. I think it's just hard for anybody to break away because every team is just so strong.
And even like, we talked with Kylie Oldmiller on a couple of occasions, the article she wrote as far as getting ready into the college game. Reset that now for the professional game. Just like with college, and even from like our standpoint, you see like, okay, what kind of resume? Everybody's an All-American. Everybody has probably been an Under Armour All-American at some point. 2-3 year captain or whatnot. Now you take it up into the pro game as Baltimore on a quick restart goes in. Great save by Gregerson once again. And then look at what you have for the resume here. Look at the resume of Taylor Cummings. Look at the resume of Zoe Stukenberg. And it's just like, where do you even start to reference all the highlights?
It's unbelievable, the level of play and the accolades that almost every single player on each team has. It makes it so exciting, and it truly is an honor to be able to play with such amazing players.
And we're just finishing up a great week here at Westchester. These games are sort of the cap off, but we've just had an incredible time at our Futures Summit. We had probably 15 to 20 pros here throughout the week coaching these futures. The team from Brave Enterprises, we had Jazzy Docal, Sarah Fisher, Chrissy Samaras here, really pumping these girls up and really showing them what bravery is. And these women that are helping with this league are the future. They're smart, brave, and they're here to make people better and support each other. And the crew from Brave Enterprises just really crushed it this week and added something special that you don't see at a lot of camps. And it's just these women playing these games just really are helping cap off a great week.
And then even then, like you watched them in between games, talking with the professional players, getting the autograph. Again, we talked about them being on the fence line as that shot goes off, and it got a foul definitely to be called here as I'm surprised the yellow card didn't come out.
The physicality of these games is incredible, and I love how the refs are letting us play through some tough calls, and it's making the game go much more physical and quicker, and there's no messing around during these games for sure.
The refs are trusting it, in the capability of these women. Everybody's professional, strong, in control of their body, so I think the refs understand that it's still safe. It's a little bit more physical, but it's still safe the way that they're playing.
Zoe Stukenberg goes back behind the net. Oldmiller looking, nobody there. She's going to come up in front. Oldmiller lobs one in. Can't get it to go, but Taylor Cummings is back to collect it. And back to live action. 17 on the shot clock as she starts to work her way behind the net. Tighten up the line. She came across the line. A little loss of the footing there for Taylor Cummings. She stepped over the line. Baltimore will take advantage of it. And a long outlet pass for Sienna Walfer.
Even though Kylie isn't finishing these shots, I love that she's still going at it every single time she has the ball. She's looking for a quick, easy goal. She'll get them. She'll get them.
And even like you said, you don't know when that ball's coming out of the stick either. So it's like, do I wait?
Yep.
Oh, the life of a goalkeeper right now, waiting for the shot to go in, and Gregerson answers that call.
Gregerson has had quite the season so far. She has been playing unbelievable. Every game I've seen, she is stepping up and making huge saves just like that one.
Shayna Brady gets the ball knocked out of her stick. Great work here by the brave Dana Daube. Gets it through the middle, but great work by the defense. Marie McCool, Daube once again.
Some more great D's. Always Zuckerberg's really crutching on defense tonight, playing both ends of the field.
Just set up a wall about 10 yards away from the goalkeeper, coming away with it. New York fight with it. Just about a minute left to go. They're up by 2. Taylor Cummings with it, settling a little as we wait for personnel off the bench. 42 on the shot clock, under a minute to go.
More than any other team, you see the fight using their entire bench, doing 2 at a time, 3 at a time. You're really specializing.
And it looks like New York will call timeout. So 48.6 left to go till the end of the halves, and the shot clock's got 34 seconds on it. And a good timeout to call for the New York fight as they try to get things set and squared away to set things up for at least one more opportunity before the end of the half. And if you're the New York fight, Mal, you definitely want to keep this momentum going.
Absolutely.
You want to get the looks on the net, and you just take your time a little bit. You've got 34 seconds. You don't need to rip one off right away, but put the ball in the hands of those you trust and then let fly when you have a good shot.
Going up by 3 at the halftime would be huge. That's a great lead to have. I know Baltimore has some strong shooters, strong gunners going on at it. So if we can get that 3-point lead for them, that'll be huge going into that second half.
Well, and you look at the Baltimore lineup as well. I mean, we've been singing the accolades of those from the fight, but I mean, don't take anything from Alyssa Leonard. Alyssa Leonard, double digits in goal scoring so far this year. Again, Amanda Johansson right there with her. Brooke Griffin again in the same spot. So the Baltimore attack is kind of like Kylie Oldmiller as well. You don't know where it's going to come from, and you don't know when it's going to hit.
Their shooting is so creative, and if you give them one step, they're going to rip it, and they will score every time. It's unbelievable how well these shooters are.
So coming out of the timeout, both goalkeepers heading back to their nets. As you see, Kelsey Donnelly, graduate from Towson 2015. Again, 29 saves in that last game against the fight. That was somebody that was very busy. And again, Gregerson, 18 saves. 18 saves at any level. That's a good day's work.
That's a great day's work. I would take that any day.
And I think, a little skip past it by accident. I don't know what she did that came out of her stick. New York, knowing Shannon Smith and sort of her level of strategy, you know she has a very specific play that's about to go down here. I'm interested to see who they're gonna get the ball to. It looks like they're doing a quick sort of circle around, setting up an ISO one-on-one for that.
Here comes McPartland, and a great save by Donnelly.
Well executed play, but just a nice save by Donnelly in there.
Donnelly
She is seeing it. We got 18 seconds left. Heading down.
Coming up through the mid now. Loose ball on the turf. New York coming away with it. Under 7 seconds. Long pass. One hop to McPartland. She's got the time, but no, nice check. Knocking the ball out of the stick, and that's how we're going to go to the break. Halftime score 6-4 in favor of the New York fight. We're going to take a step aside. When we come back, second half action here from Westchester. You're watching Women's Professional Lacrosse League on laxallstars.com.
Saw in my imagination and wanted to hold in my hands. So I went to the workshop and sort of pushed it into existence. Oftentimes we engineer things to be smaller, or we build things as large as we can just because we can. The twig's size was defined by where our hands sit on the lacrosse stick, and nothing else. I wanted a traditional handmade stick that could go wherever I go. And I didn't want to sacrifice the authenticity of lacrosse. So I steamed, carved, and strung something real, so that when someone holds it, they can feel the history and power of the game far better than I could ever explain it to them. I'm Justin Skaggs, and this is The Twig.
What do you desire? What makes you itch? What sort of a situation would you like? So I always ask the question, what would you like to do if money were no object? How would you really enjoy spending your life? Well, it's so amazing. As a result of our kind of educational system, crowds of students say, well, we'd like to be painters, we'd like to be poets, we'd like to be writers, but as everybody knows, you can't earn any money that way. Another person says, well, I'd like to live an out-of-doors life and ride horses. I say, do you want to teach in a riding school? Let's go through with it. What do you want to do? When we finally got down to something which the individual says he really wants to do, I will say to him, you do that. And forget the money. Because if you say that getting the money is the most important thing, you will spend your life completely wasting your time. You'll be doing things you don't like doing in order to go on living, that is, to go on doing things you don't like doing, which is stupid.
Watching you, use them, walk up to them, ask them questions, all right? They want to hear you ask them questions.
Go lefty on the righty, it's much harder for a defender to guard you when you attack his top hand.
Step to our target, right in the middle of the net. We want to shoot. We're not even for corners right now. Big step, right in the middle of the net. Just make sure you get to the ball as quickly as you can. All right?
Hands back, extended, be able to catch it, and as soon as you catch it, be able to pull it, nice overhand release.
Try going a little bit lower. So you're lefty, right? So you're going to throw the ball. You can do it with your hand too. So want me to throw it? So you're going to throw it. Bring your stick up just like this. Bring it and bring it in like that, okay?
Pick it up, bring it across your body like you're stealing a defender off and cradle down here, okay?
Get him a good shot, but let's try to throw in a fake and go high or low, okay? Sound good? Ready? Tweet. Woo! David. I always think it's so funny when...
Catch it. I'm starving. All I've had today is McDonald's breakfast.
The mission is obviously to, provide these women with other opportunities outside of being a professional lacrosse player.
The WPLL is a two-pronged approach. One side of it is a platform for the players to play at the highest level possible, playing a brand of lacrosse that's both exciting and fits the athleticism of the sport. The other side of that is the junior development and having a Chases program, a development program where these younger players can aspire to be WPLL players, can not only get out on the field and play, but also be mentored and learn traits such as leadership, character development, that whole side of it, merging the two. So merging your pro players with the development group to form one awesome league, a two-pronged approach.
It's a perfect opportunity for us to create programming that's going to help them develop personally and professionally. I mean, it's unbelievable the talent that's out there these days. We have Taylor Cummings, who obviously is a huge star in the game. Dana Dobie, I mean, she's amazing. You know, she's got tricks up her sleeves. And so putting them in a position to play on a smaller field, making the game faster, the spectators are going to have a blast watching it. We're going to be able to, you know, create mentors that can reach our next generation of young female leaders. Given the level of play and the status of these women, we feel like it is our, you know, responsibility to, with the reach that they have nationwide, to give back.
I think the goal for me when I really talk about the foundation is to support and inspire an entire generation of young women, but using lacrosse as a vehicle to do it. And what the foundation will support is all the leadership and bravery programming that we'll do. It will support the junior pro division, and it'll support the chasers. So the nonprofit side of the organization is really going to help us fulfill the mission of impacting thousands of girls and an entire generation of women's lacrosse players.
So what I want for these pro women are for them to feel that we are supplying them not only with the lacrosse experience. I think that's just the perk, but the main focus is really to provide them with opportunities to personally and professionally develop. And so for them to get that experience is definitely one of our main goals, but then also to connect those pros with that next generation of leaders, which are those young women that will have an opportunity to be a part of the Futures program. We want to make sure that we are always putting the players first. We're always putting these young women first, and we care about them as people first, and then everything else will fall into place from there.
I've built something. Something I saw in my imagination and wanted to hold in my hands. So I went to the workshop and sort of pushed it into existence. Oftentimes we engineer things to be smaller, or we build things as large as we can just because we can. The twig's size was defined by where our hands sit on a lacrosse stick, and nothing else. I wanted a traditional handmade stick that could go wherever I go, and I didn't want to sacrifice the authenticity of lacrosse. So I steamed, carved, and strung something real, so that when someone holds it, they can feel the history and power of the game far better than I could ever explain it to them. I'm Justin Skaggs, and this is The Twig.
Welcome back to Westchester. Second half action in front of us. The New York fight going into the locker room 6-4. Dan Fritz alongside of Rachel's not here. But don't fear. We are joined now by goalkeeper for the Philly Fire, Gussie Johns, here with us. Gussie, thank you for taking time out and joining us here. Great afternoon for the semifinals.
Awesome.
What do you think as far as the first half?
Awesome so far. A lot of back and forth between the two teams. In my opinion, these are just two really talented teams. They've got a lot of power both on offense and defense, and their goalies have stood on their heads a couple times so far. So it'll be a great second half, I think.
Now, we were talking with Molly Wolf in the first half, and get your insight of it as well. I mean, as far as the pace and the level of play, I mean, you coming from USC in your college days, now you're kind of constantly playing in an all-star game. What's that been like for you in this first year?
It's awesome. It's just fun to play alongside and against some of the players I've played in college and kind of just followed throughout my career. And as far as the pace of play, I mean, it's so fast compared to college, even though we got the new shot clock. The 60 seconds really speeds the game up, and there's a lot of physicality, and even just the 50 being the restraining line, there's a lot more space for the defenders to run, and I don't know, it's just a cool back and forth game, and I think the new rules are really conducive to the players that are in the league.
You definitely like as far as the flow of this level. I mean, we've been talking before as far as maybe some of these rules or ideas filtering down to the college level. Do you see any of that maybe?
I would love for that to happen. I mean, I love the new rules with like the offsides and the penalties and the 50. I think that's a great idea, and I even think the 10-on-10 is fun because you got a little more space for the attack to work.
Oh, trying to get creative with the shot, but I think it's going to cost an advantage. The dangerous shot as Dana Dalby is heading off for the yellow card. So creativity definitely, as like I said, I'd like to see this within the women's game as we get back to live action, but on the opening pass, too much on it. Alyssa Leonard able to collect it, so Baltimore's going to get it back despite being down one with the yellow card.
Yeah, and Dana,
hi, Rachel.
Hi. We were just one of Heather Mitz, 3-time gold medal soccer player, came to join us tonight to support Lacrosse. She used to play when she was playing pro soccer, so she came here to check out the game and see what pro lax looks like being a pro soccer player. It's great to have support from other professional leagues.
Great indeed. And right now, Baltimore trying to take advantage of their disadvantage as the flags go up. As Marie McCool going in, and now New York's going to have a yellow card going off. Sarah Brown will head off, so kind of even strength, but a free position shot for Baltimore in front of us. Gregerson sets. Waits on the line, and the shot and the score. Marie McCool gets her first of the afternoon off the free position, and Baltimore has pulled back to within one.
And we talked a little bit with Molly about this, though. I mean, these goalies are the best there are, and you can't have these scores run up, you know, on these center hash 8 meters. What is that like for you guys? I mean, that's sort of not the best spot for you, but have you been able to adjust, or are you sort of getting used to that new rule, or what's?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely tough. Center hash is a little bit of an advantage probably for the attacker.
A little bit.
But it's fun. I mean, I think it's a lot different with this new 8-meter, but I think it makes it a little bit more of a challenge for the goalie, definitely. But it's been a little bit of an adjustment period, but I think it's kind of a good new rule. It's just 1 8-meter and done from there.
Yeah. I also think it makes the defense think twice before maybe taking a little risk with a check or a push, and it really is a true advantage for the attack. And I think we're obviously seeing less defensive foul calls, but some of that may have to do with knowing if you make a foul in that 8, it's going to be a center hash for your goalie to have to stop.
Baltimore right off the draw control. Alyssa Leonard has gotten her second of the afternoon, but more importantly has tied things up at 6. Here with just under 11:30 left to go in the third.
And here comes Baltimore. I mean, this is what we've seen for them all season, just a ton of firepower. A little, yeah, I'm sure Kelsey wishes she had that one back a little bit there.
She got her to go up, went low, went 5-hole, got it to go in. 6-6 is the score. Just that fast. Baltimore have gotten back into it. As you see the New York fight bench looking on.
Yeah, I can just say Alyssa's gotten me on a few of those in practice over the 3 years I was at USC. It's a specialty of hers.
So on the next draw control now, Baltimore starting to put together a little bit of a run. And coming away with the draw control, Caitlin Montalbano.
Check up into the face there on D. No card, but looks like they're calling an illegal check.
So New York will have it. No, Baltimore will have it. It looked like Marissa Romeo. Did Marissa Romeo just get sent for a card?
I didn't see a call. I think it's part of that substitution. I think they're doing in and out.
Okay. Nonetheless, Baltimore with the ball. Shot clock at 25 seconds as Marie McCool sends one inside, try going underneath. Gregerson right there, loose ball picked up by the fight defense.
Great opportunity there for Baltimore. You know, Dana just missed a little bit there, but she was pretty wide open in the middle of that 8. They got to kind of stay tighter on her just because she has such a quick release and a fast shot. I think New York got a little lucky on that one.
So New York fight. Marissa Romeo coming in. Zoe Stukenberg with the ball right side. That hop in her step as she starts to cut left. Now hands it off. Here comes Taylor Cummings. Cummings fires and scores. Threads the needle and hits the back of the net.
If I'm not mistaken, that's a hat trick for her tonight.
That is the hat trick.
10 goals in the last 2 games for her, and you saw the half a play. She really is just...
I mean, look at this. Just perfectly threads the needle and gets the unassisted goal.
What, you know, her shot percentage is so high. What, as a goalie, Gussie, makes her so hard to stop?
She's just so good at placing the ball in so many different places. She reads the goalie really well, and being a midi, she comes down with a full head of steam and is just able to put it away when she needs to, I think.
Yeah, and from her release, it's hard to tell where it's going. You know, she doesn't show anything. It seems like, you know, it looked like she was going low left there, and she stuck it in right on the right side.
Yeah, she does a really great job of getting it out right as she finishes that cradle. So any young attackers or middies, that's definitely who I would look to.
Now on the draw control, again, New York getting the lead back 7-6, just about 8.5 left here in the third when the draw control goes. On the whistle, ball to the left side, right to the stick of Samantha Brookhart. Marie McCool curls off left.
She thought about that. I think she saw Taylor there ready to double team and thought twice.
Alyssa Leonard now with it right side, looking towards the middle. Not much there. She'll shovel it off to Marie McCool. McCool against Fitzgerald. Goes back behind the net. Brooke Griffin. Griffin tries to come in. Gregerson right there to deny the opportunity.
Great save. I mean, a little bit of a low angle, but she hugged that pipe there. She didn't give her any space.
New York fight with the ball. Coming up towards the middle of the field. Shayna Brady off a little bump. Brings it over, and now we'll give to Taylor Cummings to set things up for the attack, for the fight. McPartland.
We've seen the setup in the first half, too, from the fight. 2 up high, sort of 2 in the middle. Kylie behind. Seems to be their...
Stukenberg.
Trying to get a shooting space call there.
Didn't get it, but still working that left-hand side. Gets the ball to Kylie Ohlmiller.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
That's an amazing handle by Zoe there.
Front.
Great feed by Kylie, an amazing handle by Zoe.
Zoe Stukenberg gets the goal. Kylie Ohlmiller an assist. For Stukenberg, that's 2. Take a look, just sides it in and backpedaling it. Zoe Stukenberg just puts it to the back of the net. 8-6 now in favor of the fight. 6:40 left to go here in the third, and New York have opened up a 2-goal advantage once again as the sun setting down. You see players shielding their eyes a little bit. The New York fight enjoying a 2-goal lead thanks to the efforts of Zoe Stukenberg and Kylie Ohlmiller again on the assist. For Ohlmiller, a goal and an assist on the evening. As Marie McCool and Taylor Cummings will set up for the next draw. On the whistle, pop straight up. Bounces off the turf. Taylor Cummings trying to keep it in front of her, but back the other way come Baltimore. Great work by Kelsey Sheridan. She sends one up right side. Quickly in front. New York's defense just collapsing in the middle, but a foul called on the contact. Free position to come.
Shannon Smith did not like that no call in the midfield. You saw her on the sideline, really had a lot to say, it looks like, to the refs about that call. So we'll see if Alyssa's able to finish this off.
Alyssa Leonard, an opportunity to pull Baltimore to within 1. Sets up on that middle hash. Kelsey Gregerson, the shot, the goal. Alyssa Leonard gets her hat trick on the evening. So interesting setup, and one thing I just noticed as far as with Gregerson is like how she sets up almost behind the line, but her sticks forward. She drops back, trying to give her as much reaction time as possible. It was something we were talking with Molly Wolf about as far as like how Molly will come out a little more to challenge. Is there a better way or?
No, I mean, every goalie has their own strategy, really. I mean, in college, for a couple years, I stood almost at the top of the circle, and then even in the U.S., I would stand kind of back on my house. So it's really up to goalie preference. Kind of, if you got faster hands, you can stand a little bit higher. But if you want a little bit more time to react, it's better to stand a little further back.
Off the draw control, Baltimore getting it back, but not without Alice Mercer there harassing Marie McCool. So Baltimore on the move once again. Loose ball to the near side. Dana Daube giving chase, coming away with it, and she sends one up top.
Yeah, great ground ball by Dana Dobby. They're getting her body in front of the attacker and, the defender, and able to pick that up.
Now a foul called. No goal. If I saw the signal correctly, shooting space. So even though the shot went in, does not count, but an opportunity for Baltimore to tie it from the free position. Marie McCool once again will set up. McCool goes in, she shoots, she finishes the deal. 2 goals in the quarter and the night, making it a tie ball game at 8:3:45 left to go. Take a look at it again. She gets the whistle, goes straight in, and sends it over the shoulder of the New York Fight netminder. Tie ball game once again. Just about 3.5 left to go here in the third. So not the total shootout that we saw the last time, but still great lacrosse action here in Westchester. Again, the New England Command await the winner for Saturday. Off the draw control, ball to the right-hand side. Stepped over the line, so it's going to be New York Fight ball and a quick breakout on the restart. Sarah Brown. A foul called against Baltimore, so New York still keeping it. Taylor Cummings.
Waiting for these subs to come in, set up their offense.
Nicole Graziano will pass off to the left. And now back behind the net, Kylie Ohlmiller will start things up. Ohlmiller looking in front, quick 1-2, can't get it to go, but Graziano will have position. She'll get it back, 27 on the shot clock. Graziano quickly gets back to work. Nice check to pop the ball out, but still recovered. Here's Taylor Cummings. Cummings with room, she tries going far post, just a little too much on it, it sails wide. 10 on the shot clock as Graziano comes back over again. Graziano losing the ball for a second. Loose ball to the turf. Graziano has it back. Still bouncing around. Baltimore comes out of the scrum with it. Pass through midfield.
Fast break here for the Braves. Let's see if they're able to convert.
Lobbing to the right. Can't get it to connect. Alyssa Leonard was sitting on the left post. Great work there by the defense. And Meg Markham goes to the ground in a heap. Baltimore's got it back. Alyssa Leonard goes in. Great save, Gregerson. Markham once again giving chase. Loose ball. This one picked up by Marie McCool. Samantha Brookhart has it through midfield. Everyone's going to take a break for a second. Try to reset. But Marie McCool will start to work her way in. McCool looking. Shot goes in just inside the post. Amanda Johansson gets her second of the evening. Amanda Johansson goes far post and connects and gets her second one for Baltimore, but more importantly, the 9-8 lead. I don't think anybody was expecting that one to come off, but Marie McCool gets her second assist, so just like that, Baltimore back on top, under a minute to go here in the third.
Amanda's another player whose shot I've seen a lot in practice. She's right. That's her signature step back.
So we asked this to Molly. I'll ask you as well. Is there any one player in this league that you saw the minute they come, like, I'd say like within 40 yards, the first thing in your head was just, uh-oh. Is there that one player where you just, I really don't want to do this right now?
Not so much, but Alyssa, she just, when she can turn it on, I mean, she is lethal from anywhere from 12 to 2 feet away from you. I mean, she's just got a heck of a shot, and just the competitiveness in her, you're like, oh God, I know how badly she wants to score every single time she faces you.
So both teams with a quick opportunity to try to get something in on net as the horn sounds, but it does sound, and we go into the break. Baltimore with the lead 9-8. When we come back, fourth quarter action here from Westchester. You're watching WPLL here on laxallstars.com.
What do you desire? What makes you itch? What sort of a situation would you like? So I always ask the question, what would you like to do if money were no object? How would you really enjoy spending your life? Well, it's so amazing. As a result of our kind of educational system, crowds of students say, well, we'd like to be painters, we'd like to be poets, we'd like to be writers, but as everybody knows, you can't earn any money that way. Another person says, well, I'd like to live an out-of-doors life and ride horses. I say, do you want to teach in a riding school? Let's go through with it. What do you want to do? When we finally got down to something which the individual says he really wants to do, I will say to him, you do that. And forget the money. Because if you say that getting the money is the most important thing, you will spend your life completely wasting your time. You'll be doing things you don't like doing in order to go on living, that is, to go on doing things you don't like doing, which is stupid.
Welcome back to Westchester. Fourth quarter action to decide who's going to play the New England Command in the final. Baltimore on top by the slimmest of margins, 9-8. Dan Fritz alongside Rachel DeCecco, and this game has definitely lived up to its billing. Excitement and drama back and forth as we get set to go here for these final 15 minutes here to figure out who is going to play in the final. And once again, as she's putting on the headsets, we're joined by head coach from the Princeton Tigers, Chris Saylor. Coach, thanks for coming back in here, and what a nice fourth quarter we have in front of us.
Oh yeah, it was a great third quarter, and it's such a tight game. It's been exciting to see the comebacks in both of these games.
Back and forth these two teams have been going. New York fight 21 shots to Baltimore's 26. The saves as well, 9-3 favor of the New York fight. So Kelsey Gregerson doing her part to keep things interesting as the fight work on the attack here to start things off in this fourth frame, needing at least one goal.
I mean, New York's got clear strategy here with these plays coming in from the top and Kylie behind. It'll be interesting to see how Baltimore defends this in the fourth quarter.
Taylor Cummings with the ball, left wing off the pass from McPartland. Draws a double, thought about handing it off, now gives it Stukenberg. Zoe Stukenberg through traffic, she'll take it herself and tie the game.
Zoe's having a great game tonight, defensively and offensively.
5 total points, gets the hat trick, better time to do it, tying things up in the early few minutes here in the fourth. Zoe Stukenberg, and again with Amanda Johansson just right on her. Johansson loses her footing a little bit, and Stukenberg pulls the trigger at the right time. So I got a funny feeling that this is the way this fourth quarter is going to play out.
Yeah, just like the game before. It's incredibly exciting and fast-paced and great scoring.
Probably going to come down to like the last few moments, as we did say, Coach, you said a moment ago, in the first game of this doubleheader. May come down to a person being in position or out of position, as we saw at the end of that. May come down to a foul being called or not being called.
Yeah, I mean, these teams, we knew this was going to be a battle today, and they've lived up to every second of it. I think you will see here who's able to step up and really make the difference for their team.
Off the draw control, loose ball in, trying to shovel it forward, but still no clear possession, and now Baltimore comes out of the scrum with it. So the Baltimore Brave trying to get back on top as they work up the right side. Pass in front, the turn, the shot, the score. Baltimore's back on top thanks to Marie McCool, her third goal of the afternoon.
That transition attack, what do you have to say?
What can you say?
Here it is
doesn't
again.
Get better than that.
Just through traffic, gets the little bump, and just sends it off the left.
Yeah, and as the defender there didn't have much of a chance. She's down by the 4, and Marie's coming in with a full head of steam. She did what she could, but really, that was really a great move by Marie McCool.
Yeah, beautiful, and great speed out of the backfield too to bring that ball down in transition.
A familiar face was just on the screen, Coach. Ellie DeGarmo getting her time during this season as well.
Yeah, I saw her play last Friday night. She was fantastic. I mean, she had so many saves, point-blank range. Great goalie.
Something that you've seen consistently of Ellie in all 4 years of her in the Ivy League, and definitely just continuing that transition into the pro game, the consistent level of play you like to see here, and especially with the first year as Baltimore right back on top. The flag goes up, but the shot was taken. Kelsey Gregerson, though, better to the call.
What a great clear by Gregerson, seeing Taylor wide open, see if she's...
Here comes Taylor Cummings. Cummings curls off.
So we saw Kelsey sort of do some running there in the first quarter. What do you think about, are you a fan of your goalies clearing it past the 50, or you prefer to keep them back in the
Well, it depends on the type of goal you have. That was never Ellie's forte, but she was awesome between the pipes, and that was just fine with us.
Taylor Cummings lets one fly but can't hit the mark.
Some of these really athletic goalies who are great ball handlers, it definitely helps their team when they can play out of the cage like that.
Kylie Ohlmiller from behind the net loses it for a moment. Still trying to keep it in front of her. We'll just shovel it off to Zoe Stukenberg smartly. And Stukenberg, uncontested, will curl back around at the 40-yard line and work her way in. Under 10 seconds, though, Stukenberg's got to do something with it. She shoots in on net, and Kelsey Donnelly makes the save. Off the shot, off the turf. 10.5 left to go. The Brave up 10-9 here in the fourth quarter. Here comes Marie McCool. Long shot from distance, right in. Gregerson again the save, and she retreats to the back of her net to get some room to clear it.
2-point attempt there, by Johansson. I think that was a tough shot, but it's fun to see them try at least. I don't know if that was
may not have been the best shot to take, but I mean, you also understand it as well. You're up by 1, and we can go back and forth, and similar to something like with basketball, if you can get that 2-point shot just to get a little bit more of a cushion, it could definitely help a good run. But for right now, the fight with the ball on the left side as Taylor Cummings and Kelly McPartlin exchanging passes, now giving it back Kylie Ohlmiller. Ohlmiller racing back behind the net, curls out front, she puts one in, off the post, off the goalkeeper, and in. Kylie Ohlmiller has tied things up.
In really fun fashion. Again, she's just so fun to watch off the pipe there. I think Kelsey almost made the save, but really great move.
Turns that corner so fast, gets her hands free, the little riser. I mean, what a beautiful shot.
It hits the pipe, it comes down, it hits the heel of Kelsey Donnelly and just rolls in to tie things up.
Wow.
That's
she's quite a highlight reel. I love to watch her highlights.
What do you do with that? You just sit there and applaud. Under 9 minutes to go, we're level at 10. So now every draw control and just about every pass very crucial at this stage in the game with a trip to the final on the line. Off the draw control, straight up, but picking it out of the air is Marie McCool, but he scoots it forward, and Baltimore goes back on the attack. Nice in front, but right there to close things down, Caroline Fitzgerald, but that is going to cost them.
Yeah, I'm a defender. I didn't see a whole lot of foul there, but definitely maybe push her a little.
Coach spun and looked at you, and I'm like, I have seen that look before.
So have I.
Baltimore back on top from the free position shot from Brooke Griffin. I literally just got flashbacks.
Oh my God. A great finish by Brooke Griffin here, though.
Take a look. She takes 2 steps, wastes no time. You can't tuck it in the upper left-hand corner any better. And the unassisted goal gives Baltimore the slimmest of margins once again. 7:40 left to go. Kelsey Gregerson just trying to reset as we get ready for the next draw control.
I think we're seeing a lot more 8-meter shots in this game than in the last game. More fouls being called.
Definitely. And they're converting on a lot of them, too.
Yeah.
I think it's made a big difference here.
I'd love to see the stats for 2-point shot conversions in the league over the course of the season.
We could probably make that happen for you, Chris.
I think, if my math was right, I only think 1 has been missed, and I want to say the league is either 3 of 4 or 4 of 5.
Really?
There have not been that many opportunities, and largely in part, and I think a lot of it is because of coaching, like Coach Taylor next to us. they're not used to having that freedom as that shot goes in. Great save. Kelsey Gregerson, she thought she lost it, but she was sitting on it. So a great save by the fight netminder.
Another quick clear by Gregerson. You know, Baltimore did a good job of recovering, but it looks like New York's going to settle it here a little bit, try and tie it up.
Plenty of time, over 6.5 left to go. Taylor Cummings from right side. Cummings works her way in, lobs it off to Oldmiller. Oldmiller cuts in front. Oldmiller, the shot, the save. Kelsey Donnelly. So great save by Donnelly, but not without some harassment from Taylor Cummings back behind the net. And she'll just pass it off to the left side, and Baltimore will try to clear her. Kylie Oldmiller checks at the line. Baltimore brings it across. Amanda Johansson, a whistle is blown, and we have a timeout on the field. 6:02 left to go as Baltimore will call time, and we'll keep things here. Taking a look at that again, and Kelsey Gregerson thought it got through, but it was right there with her, keeping things close. 11-10's the score, and still plenty of time for anything to happen. This thing could go wide open in either direction. We could be going back and forth, but still, great lacrosse. Another game that's lived up to its billing coming in here, and especially for this semifinal, the winner for the championship on Saturday.
Yeah, this game is far from over. I mean, Baltimore looks like they're going to, you know, they called a timeout, want to settle down, come up with strategy, but this game I don't see ending anywhere close to 11-10, honestly.
No, I'm not even going to touch that one, but nonetheless, though, the great work by the defense on both sides, and again, both goalkeepers practically standing on their heads, as you love to see good goalkeepers do, continuing what they had in that first game, but not as much as far as the, I can't even say that, 11-10 the score, the offensive output from both teams. It's just been an even keel game across the board. Taking a look at some of the stats that we got going into the break. Again, ground balls, Baltimore's only one better. Shots total, Baltimore's got 5 more, okay. Saves, no, that's gonna lean towards that lady right there. Kelsey Gregerson, she came into the period 9 saves to 3, so she's the one keeping this 11-10 right now, but all the other stats, the clears are one off on both sides. It's just been back and forth. Like you said, I don't see this being 11-10 in 6 minutes. I definitely see this being a 1-point game, and just like that, beautiful. A 2-point game behind the back. Dana Dobby does a nice little shot and gives Baltimore a 2-goal lead.
Talk about a human highlight reel.
Oh, watch this. That's a free lesson, kids, as she just turns, shovels it from the left side. Brooke Griffin, the assist. So Baltimore has, just that fast, given themselves just a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah, and that's just a beautiful goal by Dana. Her stick work, as I said before, is incredible. And you see shots like that from her all the time. Chris said, a walking highlight reel, just so fun.
And just turned. Gregerson, yep. And as Molly Wolf and Gussie Johns both said, when they were in here, you have those players, you don't know where that shot's coming from. You don't know when it's coming from. You have maybe a microsecond to anticipate and prepare for it. So the level of play that we're seeing in this inaugural year of the Women's Professional Lacrosse League has just been phenomenal by any standard. Off the draw control, this one ripped off to the right. Couple of bounces. Baltimore trying to sneak away with it, but still on the ground.
It's a gritty ground
still
ball.
Still to the corner. Dana Dobby giving chase, and another behind the back pass.
Just amazing. Wow. From Dana, putting on a little clinic here.
Yeah, that wasn't a 5-yard BTB pass. That was a 20-yard BTB pass.
And right on the money.
Yeah, covered, running hard. Incredible.
So Baltimore up by 2.
Yeah, and rightfully so. Look, they're going to slow it down here as much as they can, try and run a little bit of time off the clock. You got about 30 seconds left in the shot clock, but I wouldn't look to them to really force anything now.
Off to the right side, Amanda Johansson with it. Sending it up top. Marie McCool, she's got some space. McCool goes in. She shoots and scores the 4th goal on the afternoon for Marie McCool, and an advantage of 4 goals for the Baltimore Brave.
She's liking that top corner lately, and she's got that shot down.
So is it timeout time for New York, do you think, Chris? Or
I think so.
She goes in and just tucks it away.
Let's see here if Shannon Smith calls a timeout. You know what? She may be saving it
for the end. Yeah. How many timeouts do they get?
2 per half.
And both teams have used.
Yeah.
Well, you're getting down there now. 3.5 minutes left, a 3-goal differential. You're going to need to stop that clock soon.
I think she's saving it for that.
But with
very end.
With the clock running, 3:15. And off the draw control, New York gets a much-needed draw control. Now they need to get some work towards net. 2:50 left to go. They're down by 3. Taylor Cummings passing off to the right side, and it gets away from Zoe Stukenberg, but she's just able to keep it in bounds. Stukenberg with the ball, coming back behind the net, looking for Ohlmiller. She'll keep it herself. Stukenberg looking now to Ohlmiller to try to set up the play in front. Ohlmiller looking. Stukenberg coming all the way up top.
Nice job by the Baltimore Brave D. Kylie's so dangerous coming behind that crease.
Spreading things out. Kylie Ohlmiller fires from distance, but the save there by Kelsey Donnelly. And now a quick clear by Baltimore. Racing up through midfield is Johansson, and she curls off. Now the pass over to McCool. McCool right side. That gets picked off by the fight, as great work there by Kelly McPartland. And now New York coming the other way. Sarah Brown. Stukenberg. McPartland.
With about a minute and a half left, yeah, they have to shoot, and they have to shoot a 2-pointer almost at this point to get 3
Stukenberg
goals.
tries to go in front. Kelsey Donnelly slams the door. Stukenberg trying to box out to get the ball, can't collect it. Baltimore picks it up, and that might have sealed the deal unless New York can pull something off.
Yeah, now Baltimore, there's about a 30-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock here, and should take their time, wait for a good opportunity.
A goal here for Baltimore will pretty much solidify the deal and guarantee them another chance to play on Saturday in the final.
Sending the double here, as you know, that's tough on D when you're down trying to get that double team. They're spreading them out.
1 minute left to go. Ball in, off to the right. Gregerson off her line, trying to collect it. Still loose to the corner. Everyone's giving chase, coming away with it, but a foul is called as Daniela Epler got to it, but on the quick return, right back in. Shot score. That's going to do it. As from her knees, Brooke Griffin lands her 4th of the afternoon and pretty much guaranteed Baltimore's spot on Saturday's final. From her knees, she just lets fly.
The Baltimore offense today has just been unbelievable. I mean, all of these goals, Griffin, McCool, Dobby, I mean, it's just been amazing.
Baltimore 14-10, under 20 seconds, and we may not even get the draw control off. So Baltimore is going to head into the final, still undefeated, 5-0, and both players know that the draw control is just pretty much academic at this point. Just going to let it go up, and collected. Taylor Cummings will lob one right to the basket of Kelsey Donnelly, and Baltimore continue their unbeaten streak, and they will take on the New England Command on Saturday for the championship for the inaugural Women's Professional Lacrosse League. What an afternoon this has been. Ladies, real quick as we wrap things up, who are you liking for Saturday?
I'm Switzerland. I have a player on each team. I'm going to stay neutral. Baltimore.
That's classic. That's great. Oh.
I mean, Baltimore's attack is just so high-powered, and New England's going to have to come up with a very interesting defensive scheme to stop them. No one's really been able to do it yet, but New England is consistent, strong. They've got a lot of talent spread out, so we'll see. And we'll see what happens Saturday. But either way, I think it's going to be a battle.
It's going to be a battle indeed. Winner takes the first-year championship. For Coach Chris Saylor, Rachel DeCecco, Dan Fritz, thanks for watching. We'll see you Saturday. The championship, first year WPLL. Make sure you come back to us here on laxallstars.com.
I've built something. Something I saw in my imagination and wanted to hold in my hands. So I went to the workshop and sort of pushed it into existence. Oftentimes we engineer things to be smaller, or we build things as large as we can just because we can. The twig's size was defined by where our hands sit on a lacrosse stick, and nothing else. I wanted a traditional handmade stick that could go wherever I go, and I didn't want to sacrifice the authenticity of lacrosse. So I steamed, carved, and strung something real, so that when someone holds it, they can feel the history and power of the game far better than I could ever explain it to them. I'm Justin Skaggs, and this is The Twig.
What do you desire? What makes you itch? What sort of a situation would you like? So I always ask the question, what would you like to do if money were no object? How would you really enjoy spending your life? Well, it's so amazing. As a result of our kind of educational system, crowds of students say, well, we'd like to be painters, we'd like to be poets, we'd like to be writers, but as everybody knows, you can't earn any money that way. Another person says, well, I'd like to live an out-of-doors life and ride horses. I said, do you want to teach in a riding school? Let's go through with it. What do you want to do? When we finally got down to something which the individual says he really wants to do, I will say to him, you do that. And forget the money. Because if you say that getting the money is the most important thing, you will spend your life completely wasting your time. You'll be doing things you don't like doing in order to go on living, that is, to go on doing things you don't like doing, which is stupid.
Watching you, use them. Walk up to them. Ask them questions. All right? They want to hear you ask them questions.
Go lefty on the righty. It's much more, it's harder for a defender to guard you when you attack his top hand.
Step to our target, right in the middle of the net. We want to shoot. We're not even in the corners right now. Big step, right in the middle of the net. Just make sure you get to the ball as quickly as you can. All right? Hands back.
send it, be able to catch it, and as soon as you catch it, be able to pull it, nice overhand release.
Try going a little bit lower. So you're lefty, right? So you're gonna throw the ball. You can do it with your hand too. So want me to throw it? So you're gonna throw it. Take your stick out just like this. Bring it and bring it in like that, okay?
Pick it up, bring it across your body like you're stealing a defender off and cradle down here, okay?
Get him a good shot, but let's try to throw in a fake and go high or low, okay? Sound good? Ready? Tweak. Woo!